Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. Today I wanted to talk about Kidioki. I was listening to one of the older videos. He hasn't come through actually that often, but he did one with Kalina of the YahYel, and there was a lot of interesting things in there. He was talking about receiving, I listened to a few of them, so there's just not one. I listened to one and then it was like 34 minutes, and then I listened to another that was just him. And there was a couple interesting correlations in there, at least for me personally. He was saying that sometimes when you're receiving codon updates for the physical and the light body, that when you go in an astral state, either during dream state or maybe even during waking state, probably more and more in waking states now, is that there's a synchronization that goes on, but things can be out of sync for a little bit and not to stress out, meaning that you can't move, and it can be a little disconcerting. So he was suggesting to go deeper into the idea of what's going on at the time and recognize that it is, you're getting software uploads, basically, if you want to call it that. You know, you're getting DNA uploads, and you're getting energy acceleration, and you're getting the energetic body, the gossamer threads of the 12-stranded DNA rebinding. And like Windows, you know, needs to update from time to time, and when you're getting these updates, you're a little out of sync. So go deeply more into it, and so if any of you are experiencing that, go deeply more into it and relax into it, and it'll be a much more pleasant experience. And I think from what he conveyed, it was be a lot easier to receive them, so that you're not resisting them. You're not going and trying to kick your legs or do whatever, and you're not able to do that. What's interesting is I used to have, never remembered any dreams of abduction, but I do remember this idea repeatedly over and over and over and over until maybe about 9 years old or so, of not being able to move in dream states, and even maybe not a dream state, because when you're a kid, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell that interim state between waking and sleeping. But I distinctly remember a couple times waking up and thinking that I couldn't move. And there's a couple ideas in that as well. Besides receiving codon updates, it could also be the idea of, you know, lending your genetic material to the Greys, to the Zetas, to be able to make the hybrid species, which are now I'm talking about. So, which is really interesting. So this idea of not being able to move, I mean, that was a repeated theme when I was a kid, over and over and over and over and over and over again. So probably DNA updates, and because I was putting together all kinds of crazy things, even some aerospace people were like, you know, where did you learn to do that? I was putting together these like kits from Radio Shack, and I was scavenging toys and doing these things, and even changing out the crystals that were in there to be able to have different frequency sets, and rewiring things, and not ever actually having any traditional education to do so. You know, rigging solar panels so that things would work, and hooking up my electric toothbrush that had broken to my remote control car because I had over soldered the remote and fry the remote. I'm like, well, I can still, you know, use my remote control car, and nobody ever showed me how to do that. So I'm sure I received a lot of DNA updates. I even had some of the ideas that are now for perpetual energy and for free energy, like the toroidal type of energy states, symbology. I remember those, and how to use light and crystal. So lots of things going on when I was a child, and Kidioki was bringing through a lot of information that seemed very relevant, and I had some unconditional love during that time. Lots and lots more of recalibration personally, taking care of some health things, feeling much better, sleeping a lot less actually than I ever have in probably a couple decades. Was a nice individual that had sent me and had deep and long conversations, and had sent a lot of items to actually try to see if we could balance out biochemistry, and they worked very well. Thank you very much. And I think that's what I wanted to share. I think that was a very interesting channeling. If Kidioki is a geneticist, genetic manipulation seems to be mostly for plants, like a plant harvester, also a teacher, particularly how to, like for hybrid children and whatnot, but how to use spaceships, basically piloting your own spaceship, making and piloting. Well, piloting, he didn't say making, but I'm making the presumption. I think he said that in another one, another channeling. Sometimes they get a little mixed up together. There's so many. But I feel much calmer. I went into the darkness a little bit today and went on a tangent on something and started doing some things, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be unhappy about that. I don't want to follow that line of energy. And you could really feel the differentiation between that energy and this energy of everything is okay. I'm immortal. I'm the oversoul. I'm my higher self. I am integrating more and more, and I'm feeling more of that, and I'm seeing more of those echoes, and some of the things that I would like to manifest in my life, I perpetually recognize that they're not there, and obviously that keeps them away. I'm recognizing that to be grateful for what I have, and be here in the moment, and just to relax and enjoy, and then all will unfold that needs to unfold to when it's supposed to unfold. So, yay. Today, after I went through like the sacred circuitry, and I think I watched one whole video from Kalina and Kidioki, and a whole other video. So that's like 45 minutes, and then I stopped on some of the stem symbols and stayed for quite a number of time. I usually stop on number 8 for flow, and then 13, 14, 13, 14, and 15. Stop for quite a number of time. And that produces a lot of different energy states, a lot more calming states, a lot more acceleration. There's this little hummingbird that hangs out here. The feet are outside. It's kind of cool. And you can get within a couple of feet of this thing, and it's just like, hey, what's up? Matter of fact, we've held the feeder, and it's like right there, and it's pretty demanding for a little tiny thing. It's like bzzz, like what? Oh, okay, I haven't put the hummingbird feeder out, all right. And if any of you know of anything that's organic, because all I've seen is suggestions that's similar to nectar for putting sugar, like pure cane sugar, unrefined, in water and putting it out for them. If there's something else that's better for them, let me know. I haven't been able to find anything yet that I feel doesn't have preservatives or food coloring and all this crap in it. You know, sugar is the closest thing. Sugar and water is the closest thing I've been able to get to. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. There was one other thing. In astral states, that sometimes in waking states we decide to project, and we don't always bring back all this information, or it unfolds over time. Usually it's during dream states, but now with this higher accelerated energy, it can be any time that we can go to these spaceships. We can go visit Kidioki, we can go visit TReb. I mean, I've talked to TReb via Rob Ganter, and TReb said that I've visited him many times. I don't have any recollection of that, but he notices when I reach out energetically as well to him. So these things do exist, and you know, they are very real, and they are confirmed from many different entities. So if you feel like you want to go visit someone, just because you don't remember it yet in your physical body, that doesn't mean that you haven't gone. The intent is really all you need. So before going to bed, or if you want to set some quiet time during the day, obviously when you're not driving or anything like that, you need to pay attention. But, you know, if you have some quiet time to set aside, or even if you're sitting and using the bathroom and you want to take a few minutes, you know, hey, everybody, some people read, some people want to astral project. It is what it is. So I hope that's helpful. Again, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching life, business, and spiritual. And please like, subscribe, and share. There's all kinds of things going on down below in the description. I just, as of yesterday, it was yesterday, redid all the descriptions, made a master one and across all 200 and whatever videos, and updated all of those. Damn, 200 something videos. It's been hasn't even been a year yet since the channel's only a year old, but I only started posting like September, October, so I'm a long-winded little blowhard. But I'm thankful for all of you and for the people who do write me and do get a lot out of these videos and that seem to be going through a lot of parallel types of things concurrently with me. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day.